So over the past few years, I have become more and more aware of kind of some bigger picture things. My background is I'm an architect, been working locally for over 20 years. And, just have become more and more aware of some of the regional growth and affordability issues. I personally realized that if I hadn't been able to purchase a house, almost 20 years ago, I'd be looking for something that would be hard to find right now. And I also have friends that are, single ladies in their 30s and 40s who are school teachers and would love to have a house or even apartment on their own, but with affordability the way it is on a teacher's salary, they have to be roommates. Granted, they're good roommates, but they would rather be able to afford, something different. And so, and just learning a little bit more about kind of the end result. If we don't deal with housing affordability and make some progress there, the end result is more people who face housing insecurity, even homelessness. That's kind of the end result of not dealing with it. And so I just wanted to, starting a few years ago, learn more and more about it, see how someone like me could fit in and help. And so when the application process was opened up, I spent a little time and filled it out and was a little bit surprised. Honestly, I've never really interacted in the public realm in this way. As an architect, I've attended, planning commission meetings for a specific project, but never really participated in a government process quite in the same way. So that aspect of it is very new to me, but I am excited about it and have gotten to meet the task force team members recently, and I'm excited about working with them and trust that we can provide some forward movement. I mean, it's a super complex issue, and 1 year a group of people can't solve the whole thing, but I trust that we can make some forward movement. As an architect, when there's a building design project, the architect kind of is the one that oversees the entire process to some degree, from engineers doing their very specific and very detailed work to coordinating between owners and contractors during the building process. And as an architect, you have to understand at least a little bit about every piece of the puzzle when it comes to building a building. And that makes architects a good fit to understand complex issues, to understand how pieces and parts work together and sequence of things. As an architect, you manage sometimes the order and the way things have to be built to make it work correctly. And so I think there's a certain mindset that an architect has to be trained in to be able to, coordinate lots of different things that work together and to think through ripple effects of a specific decision and how it might affect a lot of different aspects of a project. And those things very much, in my mind, apply to those things too. And then just understanding the reality of the process of getting things built, navigating city requirements, state requirements, national requirements. As architects, we've worked in those systems, and so we bring that to the table. So it's helpful to be able to quickly be able to acknowledge how and when those things might be a hurdle or might be a benefit, or ways to maybe propose changing those systems. So we're just getting started, and I know we will, as a group, gather and really hash through some of that stuff. But I know that we want to start with learning and making sure we all share some of the knowledge, because the task force is made up of different people with different backgrounds. And even beyond the people in the task force, there are other kind of populations or groups of people that we want to learn from too, before we don't want to assume we know everything. So we very much acknowledge, this is at least in the especially in the early part of this process, we want to learn as much as we can about the factors at play, what some of the hurdles and challenges are, whether it's for renters, home buyers, builders, investors, things like that. We want to understand what are the hiccups in the system that maybe could be adjusted. And then, because I have worked in this area a little bit, I already understand some of those variety of areas a little bit, and I want to learn more and really help maybe share some of what I know with other people in the task force as we get started. Some of those complex factors are as varied as transportation. Fayetteville has minimal kind of public transportation, and the hope is that could expand, recognizing the connection between transportation and housing and how those things have to work together. People talk about the percentage of your income that you spend on housing, but honestly, you got to think about what you spend on transportation in combination with that to really understand